All right. How's everybody doing out there today? This is Gold Pilled here with the Gold Pilled stream. And today, I just want to talk a little bit about Ukraine and the whole conflict that's going on over there with Russia supposedly invading them and causing all types of mayhem and destruction. So, I guess I just want to inform everybody that don't get too caught up in this Russia Ukraine fiasco that the mainstream news is shoving down your throats because it's just a wag the dog scenario. And most of you out there should already be aware of the movie Wag the Dog. If you're not familiar with that movie, I suggest you go watch it. Um, it's a pretty good depiction of how politicians, the controllers, how they can control the narrative and steer the narrative, and change it whenever they need to, whether it be to change the narrative to cover up, for something else that's taking place, or, whatever it may be. But it's a good depiction movie, so I suggest you go watch it. But this whole Russia Ukraine thing, that's all this is. It's a wag the dog scenario. And the whole reason that Russia is wagging the dog this time is because the US is pretty much all warred out, so to say. Um, we've been in so many wars, over these last couple decades that the public, they wouldn't go for another one. Even, a minor incursion, we wouldn't have it. So the US can't wag the dog with a war. So in comes the buddy Russia. They get to wag the dog this time. And if you had any questions about, this whole event, all you have to do is look at the mainstream media. They're pushing it, down your throats. It's everywhere, in your face. As soon as it start, well, even before Russia actually, did anything, they were shoving it in your face, saying, "Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh, they're gonna false flag. It's gonna happen." When the mainstream media starts shoving stuff down your throat, red flags better go off because it's intended and they want it shoved down your throat. So before this even happened, they were doing it. And now that, it kicked off, they're shoving it down your throat even more. My local weather channel page, I think it's an NBC. I keep that up for my weather. And at the top of the page, they have like a headline banner if anything, is important, like a bad storm or a blizzard, there'll be a banner up there telling you, well, it was Ukraine, Russia banners on the weather page. So they are shoving this down your throat. This is what you are supposed to look at, and this is what you are supposed to pay attention to. That's what they want. So, highly suspect to begin with when mainstream media really wants your eyes on it. And what is it distracting from? Well, it's distracting from the whole C-19 narrative crumbling. In case anybody forgot already, it's only been a week or two. I'm sure a large section of the population just forgot all about it because their attention span's like a goldfish. But before Ukraine and Russia took over the news headlines, the C-19 official narrative was completely crumbling. It was falling apart. Pretty much everything that they did was coming out as a lie, and they were caught. Now whether it was crumbling naturally because people are actually getting onto it, or whether it was crumbling because because they wanted it to crumble and were controlling the crumble. Nevertheless, it was crumbling. And the protests, the trucker convoys in Canada, that was a pretty big hubbub there. And so, with everything they did coming out as lies, and the convoys, protesting, and the copycat convoys that were getting started, all that just disappeared in the snap of your fingers, just disappeared, and now it's Russia, Ukraine, World War III. Be scared. It's World War III. It could happen. And now that's what everyone's paying attention to. It's C-19's forgot about, they just forget about it, like it never happened. But they never officially closed the door on it, It's the door's still open, so they can pull that back into the mainstream whenever they like. It's all ridiculous. It's the whole world now. It's a world stage. And everything that occurs in it, and everything through the mainstream media that they want you to see, it's all theater. All theater. All to control people and control people's perceptions of what's going on. So yeah, the C-19, like it never happened, Just be scared of World War III now. And the recurring trend is fear. It was all fear for C-19, and now it's fear for, World War III. And also with this wag the dog, Russia, Ukraine, they get to blame the economy, the inflation, the supply chain, the rising gas prices, everything that the C-19 mandates and restrictions and shutdowns caused. They get to blame that on Russia now. Yep, because Russia and Ukraine are doing this, and we have to put sanctions on Russia now because we're not happy. They get to blame. They get to blame all that on Russia now. No, it wasn't the fact that you shut everything down for 2 years and ruin the supply chain, infrastructure of moving goods and stuff, and all those $1 trillion handouts you guys cut, putting us into super debt and guaranteeing the hyperinflation. No, it wasn't that. It's Russia now. So Russia gets to be the bad guy for everything that's going on. Look for rising gas prices here. I wouldn't be surprised we get up to near $5 a gallon in my area, which that would be pretty dang high. I think we're approaching $4 right now. So, yep, the big bad boogeyman, Russia. Maybe Cold War 2.0. Everybody be scared. Russia's going to cyber attack us now because they're not happy with sanctions. If any cyber attacks happen, our intelligence, the U.S., they're going to be aware of it. And most likely it's going to be the Unit 8200 Talpiot people that are doing any hacking and whatnot, or portraying of hacking. And they're the ones always behind it. And, excuse me, in case anyone wasn't aware, excuse me, the same people that control and run the U.S., they're the same people that control and run Israel, the United Kingdom, Britain, Russia, China, pretty much all the, kind of first, second world countries. They control all of them. That's why I say the world stage, and it's all theater, because the reach is global. The control web is global. And, they can pretty much, handle these countries, however they want. They control it at the top. So, when Russia's doing this to Ukraine and all the U.S. isn't happy, and, Europe, whatever's not happy, it's all a play. They're doing it just to play narratives. Like, I'm sure ahead of time we were aware of what Russia was going to do. And, they were okay. Yep, we agree with that. You go ahead and do that. It was all known ahead of time. Like I said, this is just to fear the public, in the World War III, Cold War 2.0, and, just to control the narrative as to where it goes, and wag the dog from the whole C-19 thing. People were getting fed up with the whole C-19, and they needed a change of scenery. So the powers that be, they gave everybody a new scenery, one that's nice and fresh and they're not bored with. It's when you start seeing the big picture, and and how they kind of pretty much have control, of everything at the top, worldwide. You start to see how ridiculous everything is. I think it was a day after Russia took action in Ukraine, maybe 2 days. I was already sick of hearing about it because I knew what bullshit it was from the start. And then when it happened, that's all the media was, headlines. So 24 to 48 hours, I was sick of hearing about it already because I knew it was all bullshit, you know. And even if it was authentic, that's none of our business. We don't want war. We don't want to, go to bat for Ukraine. It's none of our business. Keep our noses out of it. Russia wants to do whatever that's their business. But, they make it a big deal, like it's our job to protect them, and it's all part of their narrative. So, everyone out there, don't get fooled into this Russia-Ukraine rabbit hole. I haven't even really been listening to a lot of alternative media regarding it, like deep diving into details and this, and why they're doing this and what they're doing here, because I don't care. I really don't care about the details, because most of those rabbit holes are just to distract you and keep you occupied looking into it. All you need to know, big picture, is this is just a staged event. They're doing it for reasons, whatever their reasons are, and you really don't need to worry about it. You just let it happen. Ignore the mainstream media. Big picture is they're going for global control, and everything they put out for you to see is a means to achieve that goal. And it's all, narrative, creating the narrative in your mind, controlling your mind, the way you're thinking about things, and, pretty much perception manipulation. The way you view this whole matrix. That's how they're pushing us, into this global control. And the big component of it is the internet, the digital technology. This has allowed them to achieve many things, and they're going to continue to need this technology to continue the control. Excuse me. So, you hear anybody out there pushing the fear porn of, we might get cyber attacked in our infrastructure and lights out situation, and old Dabu 7, he's been fear porning ever since this Russia incursion with the hacks and the lights out, and you better be ready, my cats, and all this nonsense of the fear porn pusher Dabu. I used to listen to him, and then once you get the gold pill level, you just see these fake, phony shekel beggars for who they are, keeping people in echo chambers and just raking in the dough, telling everyone what they want to hear. You see them as frauds. IIA. I'd really like to know how many are directly involved in IIA, because I'm sure it's quite a bit. And the other ones, they're involved in IIA probably unknowingly, just being used as useful idiots, because whatever they cover is, helps push the narrative they want out there. But So anyway, if you hear the fear porn about that, lights out, I wouldn't get too worked up about it. I mean, it's always good to have a game plan if something did happen. Like I got a nice new generator, and I have some gas backed up with the preservative to make it last. So I'd be able to have power for a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna lights out the U.S. or any of the first world nations. Um, they would lose their control mechanism, the internet. Um, I think the worst would maybe be like area specific kind of blackouts, but they wouldn't, like our whole country. They wouldn't let the power go down, and the other infrastructure. I don't believe they would let go down. Um, we're the slaves. They need us as slaves, and to control everybody's mind and the narrative and everything. Um, the internet they need. So the internet's not going to go down. So whatever needs to stay up and running to keep the internet up and running is going to continue. And if they want us to go into the digital currency, get rid of the dollar, well, they got to keep the lights on. They got to keep the internet up. So don't get afraid of this lights out. That's all fear porn. That's all part of IIA operation narrative to scare you, to steer your mind into, worst case scenarios, to get you to go spend money on, unnecessary stuff. And it's just all BS. You gotta you gotta rise above all this propaganda. The 10-layer deep propaganda. You gotta try to get as close to all 10 layers as you can and not get stuck at layer 3 and, think you're red pilled. Like we discussed in the previous video, the red pill quickly turns to the purple pill. Because, the subversion they have is so deep that, once you think you found truth, it just gets diluted with the limited hangout, truth, part truth, and then lies. Like that Mr. Theme said from my last video there at that DEF CON speech he did. Which, by the way, I did find an ebook of his mind games where he writes truth to fiction. Or he writes truth through fiction. It was kind of hard to find. And I had to wait a while for someone to seed it. I think it only had one seer, but I got it. If anybody wants a copy of it, I could probably throw it in a Dropbox and give you a link to it. So if you'd be interested in that Mr. Theme's Mind Games, where he writes, the truth through fiction, let me know in the comments. I'll throw it in a Dropbox. So that's pretty much all I got here for today. We'll keep this short, not rant too much. Just this whole Russia-Ukraine, it's all wag the dog. That's what you need to know. It's just changing. I forget what the quote is from that movie, Wag the Dog. Change the lead, change the story, or change the story, change the lead. Whatever. They're just changing it. It went from C-19 fear porn to World War III fear porn now. It's that simple. Get on the gold pill level and start seeing the forest. And don't waste your time with the individual trees, because there are so many trees and you will get lost. So cut that out and go straight to the forest. And I want to give a shout out to another YouTube channel here. When we went over my channel list on YouTube, one of them was like Alex Jones the Shill or something. Well, I think he changed the name and it's just Alex the Shill or something, I do believe. But he's kind of trying to start making videos again on YouTube. And from what I can discern, he's pretty much like me, just a grassroots, ordinary person who, who wants to put out some videos to try and give, some more information to help people, come to their own conclusions on things. And he's been able to get a decent little subscriber base. Even in the past, he's had thousands of people. I don't think tens of thousands, but just even thousands of subscribers. That's good. Um, I've been trying to do this here for, month, a couple months here now. And I got some videos out and, some popular topics, and I only got 6 subscribers. So, it's not easy trying to build a channel up. I'm not sure what else I could do to get people here to my channel and subscribe other than, kind of spamming other, channels, comments and stuff, trying to promote it. And I have mentioned my channel a couple times in Alex the Shill's channel comment section, seeing if any of his audience wants to come over here. So that's why I shout out to him. He seems like a pretty smart individual. He knows how to do his own research and look into things, when it's needed, when he needs to, get more answers on stuff. So he seems to have a good head on his shoulders and um, has good viewpoints on things. So anybody wants to go check that out, like I said, I think it's called like Alex the Shill or something like along the lines of that channel. I think he has a couple hundred followers right now. But and I think he has another channel. It's called Unbully the Internet. I'm not sure what he's going to do there. Probably little troll videos on other channels and stuff. But so, all right. I do believe that's all I wanted to talk about here today. I don't think I missed anything on the whole Ukraine Russia. So, all right, everyone, take care out there. Strive to get the gold pill, reach gold pill level, see the forest, not the trees. Everyone, take care. I'm out. Peace.